Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight we're coming to you from the Windy City in Chicago, where round 8 of Sunday Night Lights continues for season 30. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me as always is the Chaotic One. This track's kept a few away. Well, it's kept everyone away this week during the week, but our fearless bunch of intrepid Skippy drivers are here tonight, Corey, and they're bound to put on a great show as always.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. The Windy City, as you described, it's a track designed for NASCAR racing. So it's got pretty simplistic kind of corners here, a couple of 90-degree turns, and a big, long, sweeping left-hand section to try and trip our drivers up a little bit. But I reckon we'll be able to do it. You know, strength of field's a little bit down tonight as well, but these guys are going to put on a show whether, it's a 6K soft or a 3K soft.
Yeah, that's it, mate. 4,800, I think we saw tonight. Down a bit on our season average, but no doubt, like we said, the folks out there will be none the wiser and certainly be out there to put on a great show. Car number 1 here tonight for Team Torpedoes, Mr. Sim Hendrickson. He'll be looking to get amongst it, no doubt. Adam Miles, car number 2, very strong here last season at this track. And I have sneaking suspicion he might be the one here to beat, depending on how he goes. He's really warming up the tyres hard there. Car number 3, leading ANZ driver for tonight is Mr. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing. Car number 4, Dario Frattini for F Performance Motorsports. The International Man of Mystery joins us once again. Car number 5 is Dimitri Philippides. Just ahead of car number 6 tonight will be Jeff Randall from UK&I. Just behind him in the seatings tonight, after winning the warm-up race, is the head clown himself, Mr. Vasco Swarovski. Behind him, the other ANZ and Team Milo driver, Mr. Luke Whitten, who, if I'm not mistaken, he's at his highest I rating. He continues to grow. Long history in the skips, very quick driver, but certainly finding some form of late. Speaking of historically quick drivers, Enzo Genzo himself from Ivano Sim Racing, Mr. Enzo Cantor, joins us once again as car number 9. Alex Steenbrugger, now a regular fixture. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been this track that he made his debut at a season or so back. But certainly now regular in all the live action here on a Sunday night, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And coming up as our 11th plated car from Scandinavia is Joachim Osbeck, as everyone pushing so close to the walls here. Our 12th plated car, he just snuck in last week, but he's quite comfortably in this week. The 12 of Xavier Sanchez from Iberia. And I like that minty green on his cars. It's different.
It is different.
No one really goes minty green anymore.
Except for Xavier, apparently.
Yep. Our lucky number 13th car here tonight is going to be Terry McGrowther, yeah. He's from the UK&I. 14th plated car is going to be Berta Otero from Iberia. And he's got another very bright car, the blue and yellow going on. Got Chris Wayne from the UK&I as our 15th plated car. BJ Wildball from AusNZ as our 16th plated car. I do believe this is going to be a debut here for Mr. Wildball. So great to see him out there. Alex Herder from Iberia as our 17th plated car. And wrapping up the field, just sneaking in for Team Clowns Racing, Gregory Adams from AusNZ, Alex, as our 18th car in the field.
Yeah, nice. Once again, a nice big handful of ANZ drivers here in the big one. We haven't seen Greg for a little while. He peaked in his I rating a season or so back and was starting to stick his head into the top split here on a Sunday night. Great to see him back in. I had to whisper some encouraging words before this one after he had a shocker in the last race. It was a massive pile up in the warm-up race, and he's came off not even second best, probably 15th best out of it, to be honest. But he's back out there, and we enticed him with a run in the top split here tonight, and he's taking full advantage, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see him out there. And Vasco Swarovski, our 7th played car here tonight, he actually got the win in the warm-up race, put it on pole and absolutely steered clear of all the mess from behind. And surprisingly, Enzo Cantor finished in P2 in the warm-up race, Alex. So it's great to see Enzo getting out there and doing well.
Yeah, it really paid to qualify well in that one. There was an incident in the mid, not even in the mid pack, in the front, as McBurney sticks it on pole provisionally. Oh no, that might even be it. Yeah, he's wound up. Witten, he's also done his laps. We're watching Adam Miles come around through the closing stage. It was right through here where Frattini was in P2, tagged the wall on the inside, and then those coming behind just piled in like it was just car upon car, flying everywhere. Most of the field decimated, unfortunately, and that cost a few their run. But Miles now, he was on pole after the first lap. What's he got for us in this second lap? As he approaches the line, Fred, the flag marshal, very nicely on his podium there up the top. And Miles, yeah, there you go, sticks it on pole. I'm just looking for the likes of... Filippides done, Witten's done, Steenbruggen. Swarovski used all his marbles last time by the looks of it. Otero, the only one left out there with his final sector now. Comes through the final corner at 12. What's he got for us? On debut, Berto Otero, car number 14. Crosses the line and stays in 17th, as that's the end of the session. Let's go grab the grid for tonight's race. We got Adam Miles from UK&I sitting on pole. Race winner, of course, previously. Now puts it right on the front at his one of his stronger tracks. He'll be the one to beat this time round. Brett McBurney for McFlavey Racing, leading ANZ driver in the seedings and on the grid, starting on the front row alongside Miles. Dimitri Filippides from France starts out third on the second row. Joining him will be Team Milo's Luke Witten, starting out of fourth. FPM F Performance Motorsports, Dario Frattini starts out of fifth. Joining him on the third row will be his Italian counterpart Enzo Cantor for Milano Sim Racing. Joachim Osbeck from Scandinavia out of seventh. Alex Steenbruggen for Team Baracus out of eighth tonight. Ninth off the grid tonight will be Team Clowns boss man, Mr. Vasco Swarovski, the head clowns. Not where he wanted to be, I know. Terry McGrowther from UK&I starts out at 10th tonight. Alex Hurte from Iberia out of 11th. On the sixth row alongside Hurte will be BJ Wildborn on debut. 13th off the grid tonight, Jeff Randall from UK&I. Alongside him, the other clown in the field, Mr. Greg Adams. Xavier Sanchez from Spain out of 15th. On the 8th row alongside him will be Chris Wayne from Gone Skipping Racing. Nice. Berto Otero from Iberia out of 17th. And Tim Hendrickson. Holy cow. Last first challenge incoming. Starts out at 18th. Probably not where he thought he'd start, Corey. As we're away, the flag marshal, Fred, up there on the dais is waving his flag vigorously. We all come down into turn one. Oh, there's contact. Steenbruggen and Osbeck. Osbeck looked to squeeze or turn in or something. They made contact. They got away with it. Look, they're about 4 wide in the background here. Look at this stuff. Bumping and bruising all the way, Corey. But everyone survived the first 2 corners. They've done pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It's a surprise that they all got through the first 2 corners so cleanly. But there's still a lot of the first lap to go. There's still a lot of cold tyres going on. As I just saw Jochen Osbeck look for a move on Steenbruggen. Couldn't quite get it done. Everyone goes back down to single file as we head up this short chute, which leads into turn number 6. And this is another area where moves can be made. You can see Enzo Cantor going for the move on Luke, or was that Dario? Oh, there's contact in the background. Steenbruggen's around.
No. Adams and Steenbruggen and Swarovski was it? Oh no, I thought it was Greg Adams. Let's go take a look at what happened there. As they've come in down to turn 6, as you say, where the moves can be made. Steenbruggen got a little out of shape, and yeah, the rears let go. No, he's had a bit of help. Yeah, that's not pretty. And then Swarovski into the rear of Osbeck. And then, has anyone got through there unscathed? A little bit of nudging here. Oh, that's not going to do anything for Swarovski's suspension. Be surprised if he gets going out of that.
And there's another incident just down the road as well, Alex, between Wild Boar and the 17 of Herta.
Let's go check out what... Oh, hang on. We'll keep going. Wildborn. He's in the... what car's he in there? He's in 16. And he seems to be going to... Oh, there's going to be... Herte in the... I don't know, is that a musk stick spearmint kind of thing? Just rear ends. Wildborn. Oh, that's a very disappointing way for him to start his Sunday Night Lights career, as most people have managed to avoid him, but not everyone. Let's go back to live pictures, and up front, Adam Miles, McBurney, Philippides look to have got away. They got a little bit of a gap over Frattini in the background, who's leading Witten and Cantor, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It looks like we've got a little bit of hashtag pockets of excitement going on now as our leaders go through the sweeping turn number 9, which goes into a very quick turn 10. Very careful not to hit the inside or the outside walls there. And we go up to the penultimate straight now. These guys just trying to keep it civil for now. And I think they're going to try and extend this lead a little bit, although Philippides does not look like he's really got the pace to kind of hang with them here, Alex. He's just kind of losing time every now and then when they're out of the draft zones, and I think he might drop off here before too long.
Well, you'd have to say, judging by the deltas, that McBurney might be in the same boat, because Miles is really setting the track on fire at the moment. He's the guy leading the pack, so everyone's in his draft, and yet he's setting the fastest lap. So that's something you got to... If you see something like that happen, you know you got your work cut out for you. Meanwhile, Frattini and Witten, both of them, Witten in particular, has had great pace here this week. They've actually dropped Cantor. Not often you hear that. Or see that happen. Of course, we've said it before, the most winningest driver in MNL and SNL history, Enzo Cantor, back in the series a bit more regularly now. He's in P6 as car number 9. Unbelievable stuff. Meanwhile, behind he got Randall, McGrath and Hendrickson, who's up 9 positions. He started dead last, picked his way through all the uncomings, or the step-ups and trip-ups of the folks behind or in front of him. And, and now he's up to P9, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It's great to see Hendrickson gain 9 positions since the start of this race. We're only halfway through lap 3, which is an incredible effort. But as you said, just keeping his nose clean, staying out of all the incidents, and that's what he's got to do. But now he's got to start putting on the pace a little bit and try to catch up to some of these guys more further. He's got plenty of laps to do it. I'm just unsure whether he will actually be able to get it done in time.
Yeah, you never know. There's a bit of a gap too. Look, I've got to tell you, the folks who've come out here tonight, a lot of them haven't done a lot of laps here. The racing has been very light on. A lot of races going unofficial, or just having a handful of drivers to crack the official status. So big shout out to the drivers who have made the effort to come out and support the series, both the skippies in general by putting on the great standard of driving that they do, but for the SNL series itself, because without the drivers, of course, just be you and me, mate, and that wouldn't be much fun. So big shout out to the drivers who have made it here tonight and continue to put on the great racing that we see each and every week.
Yeah, exactly right, Alex. If it weren't for the drivers and if it weren't for the people watching us at home, we wouldn't be here doing this. We wouldn't put the time or the effort into it. So it's great to see, especially all our regulars come out each and every single week, regardless of what track it is. We do understand sometimes life gets in the way and people can't race, and that's fine by us. Life happens. Don't let it get in the way of your sim racing. Life is more important. But Adam Miles still leading the way right now. He's got half a second over McBurney as they go into the sweeping turn number 9. And Adam's absolutely putting on the pace here, but he just can't get away from Brett, while Brett still has that little bit of draft behind him, Alex.
Yeah, look, I've got to tell you, just looking through that final section there between 10 and 11, as they come into the final corner at turn 12 this time round, at the tail end of lap 4 of 15, It really looked like Adam had a lot more comfort in the car at that time round. You can see McBurney a little bit short on his exit with the walls looming large beside him. But that gap is now 0.6 to Miles, 0.6 back to Philippides, 0.7 now as Philippides not quite nailing turn 1 like you might have otherwise thought. Your prediction could be right there, Corey. Could be Philippides dropping away. Meanwhile, Frattini and Witten potentially a real threat for Frattini is this for Philippides, I should say, as this one carries on. They've really got the bit between the teeth and they're trying to chase him down, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex, and they've absolutely dropped Enzo Cantor off the back of their pack. He's 2 seconds back now in P6 from Luke Witten, so it's going to take a phenomenal effort from Enzo to catch up. But Tim Hendrickson, looming large in the background there, he has made his way up to P7, Alex, so he's absolutely turning up the wick right now.
Yeah, coming down into turn 6 this time round. He's got Randall and McGrath are looking to hang on behind him. Greg Adams staking his claim for head clown of the night. He's got the spearmint coloured Xavier Sanchez and Chris Wayne battling it out side by side along with him, and Adams just easily holding him off at this stage, Corey, by the looks. He'll be looking forward to claiming the moniker of head clown tonight, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. He will be disappointed that he couldn't have a straight-up race with Mr. Sorowski, but unfortunately that's just the nature of racing sometimes, and Randall will come home, hopefully, if he maintains his position with a decent little bit of I-rating gained, and that'll help him, you know, stay in the top split contention, so to speak. So it's going to be great to see how they go from here.
Yeah, we just lost 2 drivers. We're talking about the race between the clowns. We lost Sorowski here for some reason. We're just on board a replay at the moment. Coming down into turn 6. Oh, he just overcooks it, but gets away with it. That's okay. Perfect. All right, Chris Wayne, who was in the middle of that pack that we were talking about. Oh, Hurte goes around the outside. Through turn 9, and then don't tell me he gets clobbered here. Oh, big net code, and around he goes. That's Chris Wayne done for the evening, I think. He's towed to the pits and he's in there at the moment. Meanwhile, back up front, McBurney's closed up on Miles, and it's just every time they go through. Oh, Philippides. I was about to say every time they go through, there's phantom contacts, and that's what you hear, tyre on tyre barrier. But that time it looked like Philippides actually gave the wall a whack as Chris Wayne leaves the pits. And behind, though, Philippides, now he has got something to worry about as Frattini and Witten. Witten being very patient, letting Frattini have the clean air as they close the gap. No need to force the issue and cost them time so long as they're moving forward, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And I think with how solid of a whack that was, Philippides might actually have a little bit of damage on the skippy. It won't be much visually, but I can tell you, with how solid of a whack it was, the suspension on the left-hand side, both front and rear, will probably be a little bit pushed in. So that thing's going to be a little bit more evil than it was previously to drive. So he's going to have to put in a lot of work to try and stay in front of Frattini and Witten, because when they catch him, they will be all over him like flies on honey.
Yeah, right, there you go. Flies on honey, folks. You heard it here. They will indeed be pushing the point, that's for sure. And Frattini, really, what's the gap now? We're looking at, they're under a second. So if we just, there we go, we hop on board with Frattini briefly. You can see what it looks like now. He's gained as they go through turn 6. He'll be thinking about how he can line him up through turn 6 in the laps to come. We're not even halfway through yet, so there's plenty of time for patience. Oh, again, you can see, you saw there on your screen what I mean, the little phantom contacts. There's no way the droids are fixing the suspension on the front of the car that quickly, that's for sure. But meanwhile, you can see he's closed in another 2 tenths while we were riding on board with Frattini, and no doubt looming very large in the mirrors of one Dimitri Philippides, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And they're well and truly within his draft now, 5 tenths back, and Frattini is going to be doing everything in his power to try and use that to his advantage, get around him and get onto that podium Dimitri, this is going to be his best result for a while. So hopefully he can hold on to it. We'll see what happens here as they start coming up into turn number 2. You see Frattini's well and truly up his gearbox right now. Luke Whitten, as you said before, playing a very patient game there back behind Frattini. But with the sniff of making overtakes, he'll want to go for the movers side by side, go for Frattini and Philippides. And that was a very tight squeeze going through turn 3 into 4. And it looks like the move has absolutely been made. And now Philippides will slot back into 4th, but he'll have Luke Whitten behind him, looming ever large, Alex.
Whitten immediately pulls to the outside run into turn 6, but he gets it done around the outside. What did you see? Jeff Randall is the crash that I'm thinking of there, Corey. Is that the one you were looking at?
Yeah, I don't think it was a crash so much as an egg and bakey award, Alex.
Oh no. Whitten still side by side, gets it done on Philippides. I was about to say that'll be where his patience will be tested. He'll want to go straight past based on the catching that they were doing. But in the midst of all that, that's cost him the toe of Frattini. They were too busy worried about the minor positions to worry about the one that was getting away from him. Let's go quickly, see what happened to Randall. Oh yeah, he's just grabbed a couple of quick downshifts. You could hear the engine drop. And yeah, that's all she wrote for Randall's. Meanwhile, up the front, Adam Miles is leading this one. McBurney's right up his tailpipe as they're working their way through the final of the 12 corners here. Oh, actually they're not. And that was a bit of a kiss on the wall for McBurney. I beg your pardon, I misread that corner as they're heading down now into... turn 4 and 5, this sweeping double right-hander where you hold your heart in your mouth every single time, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And McBurney, by virtue of being in the draft, does have the fastest lap of the race, a 36.323, and it looks like he wants to go for the overtake this time as they go into turn 6. He pulls out to the left, and it doesn't look like he was going to do it, so he's pulled back in behind. A little bit of a kiss on the wall for Adam Miles that time. So looks like it won't be too much damage from that one, actually. Just help straighten him up a little bit. And they get so close to those tyres on the inside, I swear, every lap they're about to hit them, Alex.
Yeah, McBurney really just letting Miles know he was there. See if you could put him off his line a bit. You saw the little rub on the outside wall of turn 6 on the exit. And maybe that was enough to just get him thinking. Meanwhile, Frattini's cleared out. Whitten no longer in the draft. And Philippides now a new tailpipe to follow, thinking that Whitten might still be one that he can pick up. Meanwhile, Cantor running a lonely race. Hendrickson up 11 positions, chasing down Cantor. I wonder if he can catch him here. Hendrickson last lap round did a 36.8 to Cantor's 37.1, although they've just gone 36.8, 36.7, a tenth in the favour of Hendrickson in their last lap. So, look, at 1.6, with 6 laps to go, there's every chance Hendrickson Cantor could eventuate, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. But my main focus is going to be on this battle for the lead because McBurney has been just absolutely playing around in the mirrors for Adam this entire lap so far. Just dodging out every now and then just to, fill up his mirrors a little bit, make him wonder which way McBurney's going to go. He's really trying to do the pressure to pass tactics, which this is a track where those kind of tactics will come into favor because there's no runoff if you run wide, Alex. If you make a mistake at all, it is straight into a concrete wall.
Yeah, 100%. As we ride on the tailpipe or the gearbox of Adam Miles, looking back at McBurney this time round. That's how close they are. They're about 2/10 apart at the moment, going around the fountain section at turn 9, back through 10, back through 11. Oh, look at that beautiful shadow of the rear wing coming into play, heading into the final corner this time round. McBurney threatening, but not quite there to make any moves. Of course, the key passing opportunities will be into 1, into 2. Potentially, you could set up for 4 and 5 if you're brave enough. And of course, turn 6 is probably the primary position, but you'd have to carry it through 7 as well. Like, you really got to work hard for your overtakes here as they lap. I think that's BJ. Wildborn. Not how he saw his first Sunday Night Lights going, that's for sure. But here we go. I was just talking about if you're brave enough. What do we got here? We've got McBurney on the back of Miles, showing him the front of his car. He's going to swing out wide. He is brave enough. What's he got? He's going to tuck in behind. Just compromise the entry. Oh, Miles once again kissing the wall. McBurney putting all sorts of pressure, forcing Miles to take the lines, which are less than ideal, and potentially race ending, Corey.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. That's what McBurney's been trying to do this whole race. Although Miles did take a very defensive line going into turn 3. And you can see here, McBurney just dodging all the way around. It looks like he's going to have the inside run this time. Not a genuine passing opportunity there at 7, but these guys are brave enough to try it. Although it didn't quite work out for him. The gap has extended here a little bit. So McBurney will reset here, get back into the draft, pull back up on his tail tank, and try again once more next lap, Alex.
Very difficult to show the nose there, and he really stuffed it in there and then withdrew at the last minute. Miles making great adjustments to avoid... I think he left the space there ultimately, but it wouldn't have ended in a pretty fashion, that's for sure. And Frattini now... yeah, it's too big a gap there, but what's he doing in regards to Witten? Witten was 4/10 the previous lap faster. This time they more or less duplicated the lap times, Frattini and Witten, so no change in the gaps, about 1.8 seconds. Philippides and Cantor has, here we go, it did eventuate. We've got Cantor and Hendrickson. Most winningest race of all, the most winningest driver of all time versus the most winningest driver from last season in Hendrickson. Side by side they go up the mid straight here down into turn 4, and Hendrickson gets it done. I suspect that Cantor facilitated that one because I'll tell you, Corey, I don't know about you, but she'd be fairly brave going through turn 4 and 5 side by side, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. You'd have to be borderline getting put into an institute to want to go side by side through there when it's not the last lap. But a lot of respect being shown between the two. Both of them long-time competitors here in both MNL and SNL. So it's great to see these guys get along. But back up at the front, and Adam Miles still holding on to 0.8 of a second over McBurney. So that move at turn 7 on the previous lap really hurting McBurney there. Hasn't been able to close in at all to Adam Miles since he attempted it.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? The whole pressure to pass scenario. You're offline as much as your competitor, and if it doesn't quite come off, Miles has really got the pace of the night here. He's done a 36.2 in clean air. McBurney a 36.1 with the draft, albeit he's only just hanging on to the draft. Frattini with a 36.3. Witten a couple of tenths slower with a 36.5. He's now in the draft of the lap card, BJ Wildball. And Wildball pulls over and allows both Witten and Philippides to go by on this straight, I have no doubt. He'll just lift a little bit to get out of the way. Well played, sir. That's the way to do it. Meanwhile, yeah, up front, it's stations as usual. Hendrickson and Cantor continuing their pair. And Hendrickson moving forward after having done so already. 6 positions up. Not a bad night out, Corey.
Absolutely not, Alex. And Enzo also, Hendrickson also with the fastest lap of the race so far, 35.867. That was while he was in the draft of Enzo there. So Hendrickson still showing he's got a lot of pace left in this car. And now that he's in P6, he's going to try and close in on Philippides, although he's only got 2 laps to do it when they get to the start-finish line. So closing in 2.5 seconds, definitely not going to be easy with the caliber of the field we've got, Alex.
Nah, that's right, as he comes up to Wildball this time round. Wildball has been doing a great job of getting out of the way as a lapped driver. He'll probably do so on the start-finish straight this time round, I would suspect. He'll just... perhaps, yeah, move straight away over to the right, let the competitors through. Meanwhile, 2 laps to go, as you say. We'll focus on our front pack. McBurney really not making a dent, more than about a tenth. He's now 7/10 behind as they go through turn 2 for the penultimate time. He'll have a big long straight on the run down into turns 4 and 5 this time round, but really it's holding stations. It's about 6/10, and as they sweep through 4 and again through 5, the rear of McBurney's car telling the story that he is pushing 10/10, 11 at times, and yet he's still not close enough to make a move at this primary passing opportunity at 6, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. But what that has done is that has brought McBurney down into about half a second now. So he's right in where the draft is at its most effective. So we might see him start to close in here a little bit more again and maybe see a big send on the final lap as we have just a lap and a quarter left to go. I've got to know, who have you got your money on out of these two, Alex?
Oh, mate, my money was on Miles from the start. He was the pace in this field with a couple of notable absences. And I think he probably would have been the pace in the field regardless. But with a few names missing tonight, he hasn't had to worry about some of the hotly contested stuff up the front. He's had a lot of pressure from behind, but it's always been from behind as Fred, the flag marshal, vigorously waves the white flag to signal one to go. Fatini now out on his own. Witten's closed the gap a bit. It's down to 1.3, but he's really not going to threaten on this final lap. Philippides similarly has dropped out. If anything, Philippides is a couple of seconds ahead of Hendrickson, who rotates the car massively through turn 1 and has almost gapped Cantor, which is no mean feat. Up 12 positions. I misspoke. I said 6 before. Double that. He's up 12. But it looks like it's going to be Adam Miles' night. And McBurney really not putting a dent. He's only grabbing half a tenth here and there at most, Corey. Like, he was about 0.8 2 laps ago, and now he's still at that half-second mark, Corey.
Yeah, I don't think McBurney is really going to have anything here for Miles, especially now that we've gone through turn 6. There's not really too many passing opportunities left in the lap, if any at all. I mean, you could try and maybe force something, but if you do, it's just going to end in disaster. So Adam Miles, it's absolutely his race to lose here. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, he has got this second win of his SNL career absolutely wrapped up as they go through turns 10 and 11 for the final time. It's going to be absolutely Adam Miles leading the way here. Usually the bridesmaid, he burnt up that bridesmaid dress just a couple of rounds ago, getting his first win as they turn around the final corner now. Fred the flag marshal vigorously waving his checkered flag. For the second win of his SNL career, Adam Miles takes home the win, Alex.
That he does. Congratulations. He has, in somewhere along the lines, Frattini's dropped about 1 billion places as Witten's grabbed P3. Philippides grabs P4. Hendrickson, biggest mover in the field, clearly grabs 13 positions to grab himself a P5. Sanchez up 8. Adams up 6. He got overtaken late, but he's inside the top 10. But he's thanking me for talking him into doing this one, picking up 70 I rating along the way. Wowzers. Great job for Mr. Adams. He nearly didn't sign up too. Now, I can't see what happened to Frattini. I don't know what happened.
I just went back and had a look, Alex. It looks like he just straight up dropped.
Yeah,
and,
right.
yeah, I actually can see it right now. Dropped due to download packet loss. That is unfortunate. The last lap, the penultimate straight, and unfortunately, internet gremlins absolutely took him out of that race. But it gifted Luke Witten P3.
Unbelievable stuff. You wouldn't you wouldn't write home about that one, would you? Like the last lap, as you say, I don't think he had half a lap to go, and he's just gifted most of the field a position. That's tragic. That's a real shame. Anyway, I think that's about the end of the field. Crossing the line. Let's go check out our results for round 8 of season 30 of Sunday Night Lights from the Windy City here in Chicago. Adam Miles jumps out in front, pole, flag to flag, the whole business. I don't know, I don't think he got the fastest lap, but it was about as close to a grand shalom as you would like. He certainly stood up tonight and stamped his authority all over this one. Just behind him, Brett McBurney, who attacked where he could and where he should, and just couldn't quite get it done. 4/10 behind for McFlabby Racing in second. Luke Whitten for Team Milo grabs another podium. That's about his third one, if not in this season, over the last two, flying both the ANZ Club flag and that for Team Milo as well. Dimitri Philippides, the International Man of Mystery, hung on for P4 tonight ahead of the hard charging Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo, who finishes fifth at the expense of Team Movano Sim Racing's Enzo Cantor, who finished in sixth ahead of Xavier Sanchez, himself up 8 positions to finish in seventh. Greg Adams was the head clown here tonight in terms of results. He's finished in eighth in what I think is his best finish in SNL, certainly in the top split at least. And Alex Hurte finishes in ninth tonight for Iberia, just ahead of debutant Berto Otero from Iberia in 10th. Terry McGrowther, the UK&I, who I think similarly was on debut here tonight, in 11th. Alex Steenbruggen for Team Baracus, he's finished in 12th in the final of the SNL point scoring positions. Vasco Sorowski for Team Clowns, he has clawed his way back to 13th in the standings, just ahead of Joachim Osbeck from Scandinavia in 14th. Chris Wayne for Gone Skippin' Racing and the UK&I Club on debut down there in 15th, just ahead of F Performance Motorsports Dario for Frattini. F also stands for his internet connection as well, apparently. BJ Wildboar for ANZ on debut down there in 17th, and Jeff Randall there for UK&I in 18th. Rounds out the field. Corey, that was mate, there was an action of a sort there, a different kind, the kind that Chicago rocks up. Yeah, you've always got the threat of those big walls. Some of the folks here tonight finding that, and Adam Miles running away with a great win.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Alex. The threat of the walls is always a very real present on any street circuit, whether it's here, Belle Isle, or Long Beach. And this is probably the tightest one because there is no runoff areas anywhere. So the guys did well to get through with minimal incidents. We did have that one big one that really fractured the field. And unfortunately, Jeff Randall getting the Egg and Bakey award as well. At least he got back out on track and finished the race, albeit in last place. But it was a great race start to finish. Adam Miles absolutely dominating every single lap. And, he's going to be absolutely happy to have that second W against his name for the championship. I'm
sure he is. Why don't we ask the man himself? Mr. Adam Miles joins us after taking out win number 2 in his SNL career. Adam, mate, you were the odds on here coming in based on pace from what we've seen on pole. Well, you were headed a little bit. McBurney put a bit of pressure on, but I think you had the pace here, mate, and you held it all together for a fantastic win.
Hey, Alex. Yes, that was really good. Makes up for I don't think I obviously haven't won at Chicago SNL before. I think I ripped a tire off one season. I think I was on holiday the other. So it was nice to get a win here before the track sort of leaves the schedule, probably for good. I think the strength of field probably reflects some apathy towards this track. But as I'm sure as everyone's aware, I really love this track. The walls, the speed, it just doesn't feel like any other street circuit. So yeah, really happy to put it on pole. And then Brett gave me a good race. Got alongside a couple of times. I just had to put my car where I needed to put it. And I think that little side-by-side we had in the end actually kind of set him back half a second, which was just all I needed to kind of maintain like a 0.7, 0.8 gap for the last 3 laps. And really happy with the way that went.
Yeah, mate, it's certainly, that's how it looked to us to play out as well. You got to attack, you got to put the pressure on, but then it can be so costly, particularly in the later stages of the race when you don't have the time to recover against what was a dominant performance ultimately, mate. I don't think you were threatened beyond those couple of key moments, but that's all it takes sometimes though too. But you're right, mate, the participation has been struggling this week, and as we said mid-race, so it's a real testament to the drivers who showed up tonight and put on such a great show and continue to show what the Skippy category is all about and what the racing can be like, mate. So congratulations on win number 2. Hopefully very satisfying and leads on to perhaps another one tomorrow at SNS, mate.
Yeah, I've won both SNS races at Chicago, both against Leo. So that was it's clearly my track. And so I'm hoping to make that 3 out of 3.
Yeah, perfect. All right, mate. Well, congratulations. Look forward to seeing how that one goes as well. And look forward also to talking to you in the coming weeks, mate. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
I think just yourselves for the broadcast. I'll jump back into bed, I think, and watch it. And yeah, I'll see you on track.
Beautiful. Thanks, Adam. Talk soon, mate.
Thanks a lot.
There you go, Corey. Race winner Adam Miles. It's his second one. He's got the monkey off the back. He's come to his favourite track and dominated in what may well be its swan song.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It's not hard to see why Adam loves driving around here. As he said, he's already got 2 wins here for SNS, and he picked up a win here in SNL as well. So, it's definitely a very good track for his driving style. And, he can absolutely rip this place hard every single lap. And McBurney only had a couple of opportunities to try and effect an overtake. And, it ended up being his detriment rather than his advantage.
Yeah, that's it, mate. But, you got to take the shots when they're there. Otherwise, you're not racing. You're just playing follow the leader. All right, let's grab another chat. Oh, as we see the accident unfold in the background. We'll grab Mr. Enzo Genzo Cantor, who came back and joined us tonight. Started 6, finished 6. Had some fun along the way. Hopefully, Enzo. How was your race out there tonight?
Hi guys. Well, I say sorry to you because the last 2 races I didn't come here speaking with you, but I was really disappointed because at Phillip Island I was out in the first corner, and I did at Watkins Glen I did full start. So I released the clutch with the red light, so race finished in first lap. So I was very disappointed. This time, the problem is that here I never found this weather before. So every time I found much colder weather, so I really didn't know what was the limit. I was every time a little bit wide entering some corners, so I was struggling, trying to remain in the draft. I lost the train, but I was not worried so much because here you can do one mistakes and you die over the wall. So I managed to finish the race without risking too much. Then I saw Tim; he was arriving from behind. It was faster, and I thought it was smarter to let him pass and try to catch the car in front. But it was not possible. Too late. So I'm happy because I'm alive, and this is enough. But again, the problem was the weather because I never had. I never found the confidence to push much. So very congratulations to Adam because it was every corner on the limit near the walls, so not easy at all here.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Street circuits like this require that full commitment, right up to the walls. And if you're not confident with the track temps or the conditions and the car underneath you, it's very difficult to do. So you're right. Congratulations, Adam. But congratulations yourself, mate. P6, nothing to sneeze at there. A bit of I rating, a few points in the biggest race of the week, mate. No, nothing to sneeze at there, and certainly, hopefully, something that brings you back in the weeks to come. After a couple of unlucky ones, good to get a solid result under the belt. But, mate, I hope we do get to see you again soon. Is there anyone you'd like to say g'day to or thank while you're here tonight?
As always, my team manager Fabio Mantellini, my team Mivano SRC, and my big friends Manuel Luqueta and Marcello Pagnan, because they are every time in Discord with me during my races in order to keep me calm. So I was almost leaving the sim because I didn't have time to practice, so much work, family, and I'm here again because of my friends said to me that I have to regain my I rating and so on. So I'm here older, I think smarter. I think a bit slower, but I think a little bit more solid than before. And I, I, I wish I will gain a little bit of speed in the next future.
Excellent. All right. Well, mate, good to have those people around you. That's what we all need, that bit of support and that bit of encouragement. And great to see that you've got the right people behind you there, mate. So congratulations again, Knight. Good result there in P6, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you again, guys. Thank you. See you soon.
There you go, Corey. Enzo Cantor. Great to see the great man back in it. It's been a while. He had a big hiatus. I think next time I'm going to ask him if he's still left foot braking, because I know he talked about Manu Luketa in the background in Discord. Manu was one, I think, encouraging him to left foot brake. And I know it sort of unsettled him a bit, but it's certainly the way to get it done in the skips. And hopefully that's something we get to ask him next time.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And it's been disappointing seeing him in the races and having such horrible luck that he hasn't been coming in for interviews. So I'm glad to see that he had a great race here tonight. Came in for a chat because we really miss our Enzo Genzo interviews. And, he's always been one of those characters that, just absolutely always comes in. And, he brings in good vibes when he does have a chat. And even when he's involved in a little bit of a drama, he somehow puts a positive spin on it, and it's just very entertaining to listen to. So, Enzo, just keep doing you, man. And hopefully the left foot braking's going well for you.
Yeah, that's right, hopefully. But now, speaking of making every post a winner here tonight was young Mr. Greg Adams, who temporarily at least has taken on the moniker of head clown in this one here tonight. I had to talk him into racing beforehand. I bet you're glad you signed up now, aren't you?
Yeah, you did a good job of talking me into it.
Mate.
And I goes, woohoo!
Yeah, that's right. P8, 70 I rating he walks away with. He's cleaned up here tonight as car 18. Mate, how was that one for you?
No, that was awesome. That was really good. I did get a couple of freebies at the start, but I got a couple passes in and had a really good battle with Xavier all the way through. Yeah. And he just pipped me at the post there. But no, very, very happy.
Mate, if you're battling with the likes of Xavier Sanchez, mate, he's a very experienced and quick driver. Does a lot of laps in these and other cars, mate. You're doing pretty well, honestly, to be battling there. You might have got pipped at the post, but still, that's a top drive, mate.
Yeah, no, very happy with that. I mean, I got a feeling he might have been playing with me a little bit, but yeah, no, he certainly got me at the end.
Mate, still 6 positions up the order in the biggest race of the week. 4,800 strength of field might have been our lowest for the season, but it's nothing to sneeze at, mate. And P8 in that, like I said, up 6 positions. Fantastic drive in the temporary head clownmobile here, clown car here tonight.
Well, someone had to stand up for the clowns. I mean, we've got one drinking in Singapore and sort of one lashing in the background there, so it's like, come on.
That's it. The clowns go global, apparently. All right, mate.
That's it.
So congratulations, mate. Top drive. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight, mate?
Oh, I love my clowns. And so we've got Fast, Mark, Doug, and Martin in the background tonight. No, thanks to all those guys, their support, and of course your support, Alex, that you've been giving me in the background, and the coverage that you guys put on. Good job.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Greg, mate. Look forward to talking to you again soon and hopefully making another appearance here on a Sunday night before too long.
Yeah, I hope so.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
There you go, Corey. Greg Adams. He took out P8 here tonight in the end. His strongest finish, and you could hear the smile in his voice, mate, and that's something we love to see.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And I actually had a couple of races with him in Watkins Glen. And he was a little bit off the pace there, but it's great to see him up there tonight. +6 for the race. I mean, I'm just having a little look through, and there was 4 big movers in the field, and he was one of them. Of course, you have Hendrickson up 13, Xavier Sanchez up 8, Otero up 7, and Gregory Adams up 6, being the 4th of the 4 biggest movers. But it's nothing to sneeze at with the caliber of field that we had. He did get a little bit lucky there at the start with a few people falling off, including Vasco. With those couple of earlier incidents, but racing with the likes of Xavier Sanchez, who we know is well known for going through the field, starting towards the back, You know, it's a big effort, and he should be very proud of himself taking home the moniker of being head clown here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, congratulations to him. Top drive and a great effort all round. All right, mate, that might just about do us. Of course, Adam Miles taking out a famous victory here tonight. Fantastic drive from him. But, Corey, do you want to tell the folks at home what you got coming up this week?
So it's a big week for me this week as far as the real life racing filming goes. Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday is both the Australian Sprint Car title and the Formula 500 title at the Perth Motorplex. So I'll be there all 3 of those days filming and absolutely ruining my sleep schedule. And then hopefully I'll be alive enough that when we come back here next Sunday, Alex, I'll be able to provide the call with you when we go and tackle Oran Park, the moto layout.
Yeah, Oran Park Moto next week. Looking forward to that. Adds a little bit of colour and flavour to what is a fantastic Australian track that, it doesn't exist except in the hearts and minds of those who loved it and those who race it here on iRacing, of course, next week. But for now, folks, make sure you go check out the Top Split on YouTube, which is where this and all the other 30 seasons of Monday and Sunday Night Lights exists, as well as a couple of other things there that hopefully interest the folks now and then. Of course, every Sunday night here at 9:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, which is GMT plus 11 at the moment. You'll find us on Top Split TV on Twitch, bringing you the best Skippy action around. And, of course, you can keep up with all things SNL in our Discord community, where the scores and everything are kept. And that's where you'll find us kicking about. All right, folks, that might just about do us for this week. Thank you once again to everyone for joining us both on track and in the chat. It's great to see everyone here each week. The community support that we get is fantastic. But for now, folks, on behalf of the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, and until next time, I will say ciao for now.